We're ready to.
Bruce, can you turn the mics on, please?
All right, it's 5:30. We're going to call the March 6, 2024 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order. Ms. Blankenhorn, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Boucher.
Here.
Ms. Cunningham.
Here.
Mr. Percy.
Here.
Mrs. Simpson.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Present.
Mrs. Arianata. Mr. Eister.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, first order of business before us is approval of the February 21st, 2024 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I approve that I move that the minutes be approved.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. With that, the February 21st, 2024 Board of Zoning Appeals minutes are approved as presented. Next item before us is 2023 BZA-22 bylaws. Is there a motion regarding the bylaws at this time?
Yes, I'll move that we table this.
Discussion
Yes,
until our next meeting?
sure.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we need to roll on that, or all in favor say aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, with that, the 2023-BZA-22 bylaws is tabled till our next meeting. Next item before us is 2024-BZA-05, and we're going to turn that over to Ms. Cunningham.
Thank you, Michael. Do we have a proponent for 117 East High Street variance for parking count before us? Thank you.
Good
Please
evening.
read the green card right there in front of you.
All right. My name is Max Hentosh, and my address is 480 West Broad Street, Columbus, Ohio. I affirm that my testimony is truthful, to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury.
Thank you. And the floor is yours. Tell us
Okay.
about your project.
Great. So I am from MKC Architects. We've been hired by the Knox County Commissioners to add a addition to the north entry of the Knox County Service Center, and in addition to that, enclose the loading dock that you can see on this facade. We are here for two variances today. Number one, the existing building does not meet required parking count, and to my knowledge, there is not an existing variance that allows for the building to have this low count of parking. And so then the second variance that I'm here for is, once that is approved, we are asking for no additional parking to be required for this addition, as it is simply a loading dock enclosure and a new vestibule so that visitors can find their way into the building.
And additional parking would have been required because you're technically increasing the square footage.
Yes, that is correct. Under current code, we would need 6 additional parking spaces based on the 1,100 square feet of technically occupiable space. However, again, this space is going to be used as simply a pass-through.
Thank you. Any questions for the proponent? Thank you. Any other proponents of this variance? Any opponents of this? Any other written or oral communication?
I have the staff report. March 6th, 2024 for case 2024 BZA-05 for 117 East High Street, parcel number 66-50451.000. The subject property is zoned OI, Office Institutional District. The proposed development is a new pass-through lobby and loading dock enclosure to the back of the building facing Chestnut Street. The property is currently developed with an office building converted from a hospital. Parking is provided on adjacent lots. Additional on-street parking is also available. Off-street parking regulations requires 1 parking space for each 200 square feet of floor area. The proposed addition triggers the requirement to add 10 additional parking spaces. A variance is requested to waive this requirement and continue utilizing the existing 273 provided spaces. A visit to the building during standard business hours shows parking availability. And one thing I didn't include, the proposed addition will be vetted by the Historical Review Commission on March 14th.
Thank you. Thank you. Any discussion from the board?
Well, we need a motion.
Oh, sorry. A motion on this variance?
A motion that we accept it.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none. Lacey, will you call the roll?
Ms. Boucher,
Yes.
Ms. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Eister.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll turn this back over to Michael.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Cunningham. All right, next case before us, 2024-BZA-06, 808 Coshocton Avenue, variances for parking count and setbacks.
Is somebody recusing himself from this case?
On this case?
Yeah.
No.
No, it was just, the last case.
You don't need me. Five.
Okay.
Can't do better than five.
Thank you, Mr. Eister,
Thanks
for your time.
Thanks for the invitation. You're gonna just let me sit here and suffer in silence. I'll remember that.
Good to see you.
2024-BZA-06, 808 Coshocton Avenue, variances for parking count and setback. Is there a proponent of the variance request before us? Please come up, be sworn in.
My name is Robin Peck. I am with Valvoline, and my address is New Carlisle, Ohio. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury.
What are we trying to achieve today?
Well, we are trying to get a variance. I understand it's not for parking anymore, but a variance for our setbacks, our side yard setbacks, as well as the location of our dumpster that we're proposing for our Valvoline at 808 Coshocton Avenue.
So I had it down as the required number of parking spaces.
So this morning, Ms. Blankenhorn was taking a look at it, and the parking was originally computed based upon a repair shop. They're actually a service shop, and based upon a review of the specific definitions in the zoning code, we determined that it was in fact a automobile repair service center, and because of that, they do not need a variance for the parking, but I guess we're just here for the setbacks.
Correct.
Okay, so we're just looking at side yard setback for pavement, and then you said the dumpster as well?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right, I didn't even see anything on the dumpster, so what's the,
I believe it's just the setback.
It's the same setback on the west side of 2.7, or 2 feet 7 inches. It's right at the edge of the proposed pavement.
okay.
Back of the lot.
We have access around the entire building per codes for fire department, and then our a dump truck, our delivery trucks, and some of the larger vehicles that we service. So the the side yard setbacks are critical to be able to maintain those widths. And then the location of the dumpster and that setback provides us easy access for a dump truck just to come in, do what they need to do, back out, and then make a turn and exit the building, or the property, I should say.
Okay. All right. So we're reducing the setback from 10 feet on the one side to 1 foot 11, is that? And then the other side from 10 feet to 2.7, 2 feet 7 inches. Okay. All right. And
I was just going to say, currently, there's just a curb that separates the O'Reilly's from the existing parcel, and then on the other side, there's a small strip of landscaping at the bank, and then a pseudo curb, I'm going to call it. So,
okay. So essentially, we're providing a variance for something that's already there. Okay.
Exactly.
And
We'll
there was
have
never-
landscaping and sod, couple of trees around the other parts of the parcel. So it's not gonna be all impervious like it is now.
All right. All right. Anything additional to add?
No, not unless you have any questions.
Any questions? All right, are there any other proponents of the proposed variance request before us? Are there any opponents of the proposed variance request before us? Ms. Blankenhorn, is there a written or verbal communication?
I have the staff report.
All right,
March 6, 2024, for case 2024 BZA 06 for 808 Coshocton Avenue, parcel number 66-07558.000. The subject property is zoned GB General Business District. The proposed use is an instant oil change facility. The property is currently developed with asphalt to the property line on the west side, and the primary structure is 3.3 feet from the east property line. The building has been vacant since 2014. GB development standards require a minimum side yard setback of 10 feet for pavement and 15 feet for structures. A variance is requested for reduced side setbacks for pavement of 1 feet 11 inches on the east side and 2 feet 7 inches on the west side. A variance is requested for a reduced side setback for a structure, the dumpster enclosure, of 2 feet 7 inches on the west side. The proposed use should be categorized as a motor vehicle service station as opposed to a motor vehicle repair station. City code requires 2 parking spaces for each service bay of a service station. The 2 proposed bays would require 4 parking spaces. The 11 provided parking spaces, including 1 accessible space, would not require the requested variance if the operation is categorized as a service station and not a repair station.
all right. I would entertain a motion regarding the proposed variance request.
I move.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Ms. Blankenhorn, would you call the roll?
Ms. Boucher?
Yes.
Ms. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mr. Percy?
Yes.
Mrs. Simpson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
All right, with that,
Thank you.
2024 BZA-06 is approved as submitted.
Thank you.
Any additional business before us? Ms. Blankenhorn?
No, and I do not have any submittals for the second meeting in March, so at this point, we have nothing further scheduled.
All right, with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Ms. Boucher's made the motion in a second.
Second.
Ms. Cunningham, with that, we are adjourned. Thank you for your time. We'll let you guys
Thank
get
you.
on to your next meeting.